Ever wonder how seven-figure sellers cut their product costs in half when ordering from China? It starts with negotiation, and I'll be going over it in today's video. So let's say you're trying to launch a touchless vacuum, right? It's awesome, it's a cool vacuum, you just swipe stuff near it, sucks it in, awesome. You know they're making tons of money, not only on Amazon, but Walmart as well, and you wanna find the supplier. Now to find the supplier, you can just do a reverse image analysis. That's usually the easiest way. Sometimes that doesn't work, but you can go to Alibaba, click on this little button, do a reverse image analysis, and then usually you can find a manufacturer like we did right here. So we found one manufacturer, and then you can do more reverse image analysis and try to find another manufacturer. So here's one manufacturer, and then I already found another one that's similar, but it's different because you don't want the same exact product, right? So again, we found one manufacturer, and then we found another manufacturer already. And you can do more research and find multiple manufacturers. Once you find multiple manufacturers, and I mean multiple, I recommend to find at least 10 if possible. If not, that's fine. But if you do 10 manufacturers, you wanna chat with them. So chat now, and you wanna get a feeling of how much they're going to charge you, right? Some of them are just gonna completely try to rip you off. Some of them will give you an amazing price, and some of them will give you a price right in the middle. Okay, you want to try to determine which one's best, right? And you just click the chat now button right here, right? So once you do that, then the next thing is to get a quote. Don't rely just on one manufacturer. Get multiple quotes. Ask for a price without shipping costs. What manufacturers do a lot of the times is, let's say it's $45 for this, $45 a piece, okay? They're gonna automatically, like, with shipping, be like, oh, with shipping, it's $80 a piece. And you're like, what the hell? It says 45. Manufacturers do not know how to ship. They don't even specialize in shipping. So they rip you off when it comes to shipping. What you wanna do before you wanna figure out shipping is to say, hey, without shipping, is it 45 bucks, right? What is the price without shipping? And you want to contact all these manufacturers, right? Kindly just send us, they're going to try to add shipping in because they make profit off of shipping and you don't want them to profit extra. So what's the cost without shipping? That's the first thing to get a discount, right? If they don't give you the price without shipping, you're not going to want to work with them, okay? When you do actually need to ship the item, you can just get a freight forwarder, or then you can at least separate the costs of the item with the shipping of the item. So you can say, oh, this manufacturer said they'll ship it for $100. This one says they'll ship it for $200. Well, it should be the damn same when it comes to shipping. So once shipping comes into play, like at the end, then you can say, look, the other manufacturer literally says they're gonna be shipping it for $100 cheaper. Shipping should be a similar price. It's not like shipping goes up and down. The cost of goods might, but shipping should be kind of the same if they all live in China, right? So that's going to be the first thing. Get that price without shipping. Next is going to be negotiation. So once you get that shipping down, you want to order a sample. Some manufacturers are really stingy. They don't want to send you a sample. And you want a low MOQ. So imagine they say you have to order 1,000 of these to start. So you want to have your own brand name on it, right? They have their own brand name on it probably in their box. They want to have a special box. You want to have that, right? See, there's the brand names right here. So you want that on yours too. And they say you have to order 1,000 units. And you're like, hold on, that's 45, 1,000. That's a ton of money, right? Now, what you can do is negotiate and try to get their MOQ down. Before you get their MOQ down, what you can do is attempt to order a sample. So you're gonna say, hey, how much per unit? How much do you need? Let's just start with something low, 100 MOQ. Like, how much are you actually wanting to order? Usually it's gonna be like, try to shoot for like 100. They're gonna want you to order 1,000 MOQ, by the way, but just try to go lower. Can you send me all of the items you have in stock? Because that's another tip, is say, can you send me all of the items you have in stock that are similar to this? So they can send you a breakdown. Maybe they have a new item or something that's a smaller version of this that's half the cost, but it's not on Alibaba. That happens all the time. So ask for all of the products that they sell, right? and then get all of the photos. They send us photos of everything. And then what you do is you hand it off to your boss. Even if you're the boss, you try to make yourself the middleman. So that way they don't get mad at you and they try to negotiate with you directly. You say, let me show this to my boss and get back to you. This also makes them think that you're a bigger, more respected customer. So make sure you use that in your negotiations. My boss would like to test the sample. We do not do samples. So look, only large order. You never want to work with somebody without testing their product first, right? So then you have to explain to them. When they try to shoot back, this happens all the time. They're like, we can't do this. That's not acceptable. That's always negotiate. Don't get pissed at these Chinese people, right? Or these manufacturers. You need to just negotiate and keep the conversation going because soon they give in. It's just how it is. That's just how it is, right? Hi, the reason why we want to place a small order is we must assess the quality of your product. Once we evaluate the quality, we can proceed with a bulk order. If we purchase a bulk order and the customer perceives the quality as poor, we could incur substantial losses, yada, yada, explain it. And then all of a sudden, we'll send a sample. That easy, right? You need to back yourself up and not just give up when someone's like, I'm not going to do this, right? Then once the sample comes, that's your time to make sure you get the sample and you order from the number one competitor. So order from the competitor and see how their sample stacks up. You want to be honest. If it's a crappy sample, or maybe it's good, you still want to try to shit on the sample and be like, yo, we need a discount. Like, this is not good, right? So that's when you do it. When you actually get the sample, show them pictures that you purchased the number one competitor, right? And then show them pictures of theirs and be like, yours is missing this. It doesn't have this. I thought I was getting something that was like the competitor or as good as the competitor, right? And then lower them down from there. You need to be very specific. You need to include images. Once you have that breakdown, then usually they're willing to work with you with a better price and a better MOQ. And be like, hey, because the sample isn't good, we want to have it for this price, and then we want to have it for this MOQ. And then try to meet in the middle, right? So again, they agreed to the price of $8. So it went from, let's see if we have the price. It went from $12 all the way down to $8 a piece. So we're saving a significant amount of money, right? Almost half. It almost went down 50%. And then we said the MOQ is 100, and they agreed, somewhere in the middle at 150. I'm okay with that. We saved a bunch of money, right? And then of course you want to do this with multiple manufacturers, and then you kind of filter it out and find the best one. But a lot of this is just persistence and communication. So don't give up on that. So again, steps: ask for stock, explain you want 100 MOQ or 1,000 MOQ, right? Just to get the pricing. Ask them to send all of the SKUs items they have. Make sure they ship the sample via UPS, DHL, or FedEx. Analyze the product, create real feedback. Tell them that you're a big, large seller and a story and how you're asking for a discount, yada, yada. Utilize the boss method where you're just the middleman, and then receive a discount or somewhere in the middle, right? You want to go lower. You don't want to give them your actual discount one. So if you're like, oh, I'm willing to pay $10, you want to go down to 8, and then they're going to try to meet halfway usually. If they just completely say no, then what you want to be doing is say, well, can you do 10? Right? I'm trying to work with you here. We're a big seller. We're going to make you a lot of money long term, right? You want to try to explain that to them. You don't want to be short and sweet. You want to really explain it to them because their boss is going to review it. And if they think you're a long-term customer, they will take a hit. It takes time. Do not rush. Right now, I try to pull it out for 5 to 10 days before asking for a discount. So really not wasting their time, but kind of like getting them involved and putting a lot of time in this so that way they're more likely to close the deal. If I talk to them for one day and I'm just like, oh, you guys won't give me a discount, whatever, they're just going to be like, whatever. But if I do 10 days, they're like, we've invested a lot of time into this guy. We definitely want to work with you. Answer every 24 hours. Don't just leave them on red, right? Or else they're not going to want to work with you. Only pay through Alibaba. Okay, so don't just wire. They're going to say, wire the funds, do that. No, just only pay through Alibaba, because Alibaba, it's like Amazon where you can get the money back pretty easily. So make sure everything's paid through Alibaba, right? And again, without shipping. So that's kind of the breakdown. Not anything crazy, but I do hope you learned something new. What's one negotiation tip that's worked for you on Alibaba? Let me know in the comments below. If you learned something new, drop a like. And if you're an Amazon seller, I highly recommend subscribing to our channel because we're giving away great content that's going to help you in your Amazon journey. And of course, if you need help with increasing sales, anything mentioned in this video, or just help selling on Amazon, contact EHP Consulting Group. The link is right in the description to contact us or schedule a call. Also, one of our most popular services is our full Amazon account management service. Not only are we going to help you find products to sell, we'll do the negotiations for you, and we always like to take our time to make sure you get the best manufacturer and the best price possible. Not only that, we're going to be managing your inventory, your design, your listing launch, calling Amazon, SEO, advertising, and of course, increasing your sales. The benefit of this is so you can spend time working on your business instead of in your business every day, like calling Amazon or negotiating with manufacturers that's going to piss you off. We'll do it for you so you can save time, money, and increase your sales with ehpconsultinggroup.com. I'm Josh Hackett, CEO of EHP Consulting Group, and I'm signing out.